Well, hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to Grizzly Bear Sims YouTube channel. My name is Jerry. Thank you for coming back for another episode. And yes, we are back on Pine Cove Farm. This is episode number 4, and we find ourselves back here at the compost facility. We have basically emptied out the compost facility for everything that had been available here. And it's a little bit left, but we've basically got a full trailer here, a full tipper here. So we're going to basically take this compost down to basically down to the BGA, because in the BGA, and obviously we're going to fire the BGA up in full capacity once we can harvest, or actually chop that cornfield that we planted. Field number 9, I believe, was that field. So watch out, traffic, don't hit me. And that was my bad, because I should have looked both directions. But I have been battling AI traffic for the last couple of days, and I've just about headed up to here, and I'm holding my hand up more or less to almost the top of my head. Is about how much I've had of AI traffic, and that's AI in Farm Sim, as well as I've been playing some Euro Truck 2 and some American Truck Simulator as well. And AI traffic is just it's just AI traffic, right? Okay, so one of the things that Stevie has incorporated into the map, and let me just set our parking brake, because we're obviously using that mod here on this map to keep our tractors and tippers and stuff from rolling away from us. And by the way, let me just kind of bring up a thing here. So we've got one of our hard workers plowing in field number 8. And let's see, what else do we have going on? That's basically about it. But I wanted to show what we're going to do today is after we do this compost, we're going to go out to field number 6 and plow that with corn, and that will be for our field use. Obviously, field number 9 is set up in corn for the BGA. But kind of where we are, this is most likely going to be our last game day for this, our last video for this game day. We have pretty much got everything done that I had set out to do in game day 2, which is representing mid-spring. By the time he finishes plowing field number 8 and we go ahead and sow field number 6 in corn, pretty much that will be all that we will need to do for this game day. But here, what Stevie has provided to us is a much more complex BGA facility than what we normally get in standard maps. And so here, right here where we're currently parked, we will go ahead and tip the compost into the digesters, and basically this is the same place that we would be dumping once we let me just kind of get out and walk around here. Once we chop that field number 9 and bring the corn chaff to the BGA, we will obviously dump it into these silage pits, compact it, cover it, let it ferment into silage. When we dump, and obviously we'll be using a wheel loader to transport, and I'll probably automate this with Courseplay, transport the chaff, or the silage actually at that point, from the silage clamp into the digester, which obviously is here where our John Deere and our Joskin is actually parked. So this is where that will dump. So all Stevie really did was just sort of embed the digester into the ground and fixed a very nice ramp and everything, so that'll make things a lot easier for us. But there's also a few other things that we can do here with the material that we put into the digester. And so right now, obviously, we're putting compost, because that's what we're producing from our compost facility, and we're dumping that there. So we're going to make some money off of that. I wasn't really paying attention when the money clicked up, but you can rewind the video and see just how much we made from it. But we get a byproduct from that from anything that we put into the digester, and the byproduct that we get is going to be digestate, which in Farming Sim 15 terms, this was called basically liquid manure or slurry. And so the digestate, we can take the digestate directly from here if we want to, and place that in our field. So in addition, if we come here to our menu and we look at our animals as an example, we've got almost 24,000 liters of liquid manure with another 3,440 liters at the pig facility. So a pretty good start to our liquid manure collection there, which will be good because we consider that black gold because it can certainly replace fertilizer. So we can take this digestate that's being produced here, which is the byproduct of the material that goes in either the silage or the compost or whatever we're putting into this receptacle. This is the output of that, the digestate. So we can take the digestate and we can haul that away and use that on our fields with our liquid slurry injection equipment that we have. Or we can bring some, all, or a portion of the liquid digestate over here to this facility. This facility will actually make a couple of different things for us. It will do, if we come up here, it will do, it'll make us fuel, so it'll make biofuel, which we can use in our equipment, our tractors and such, so we'll definitely get that going. And it can also create liquid fertilizer, and I believe it makes solid I believe it produces solid manure. We'll confirm that when we get it running. It shows here as digestate, which I would consider that to be liquid slurry, liquid manure, but I think it is actually solid manure. But correct me if I'm wrong on that, anyone that's played this map. So a lot of different things that we can do, and of course the storyline that we're playing is that we are obviously, building up the local economy and trying to put folks to work as best as possible and everything. And so this, obviously firing this facility up, is helping to meet our goals with that and getting people back to work. And so we've just been able to employ a few folks to run the bio facility there and processing that compost, and of course we're going to get good things off of that. So all good stuff in the world of Pine Cove Farm, and of course the wonderful and talented Stevie for helping get everything going. And I probably should not park on the railroad tracks like that because that's not very good practice. And again, this AI, go ahead and crash into me because AI is stupid. The AI is far less intelligent with FarmSim than it is with ATS and ETS2. ATS and ETS2 AI can certainly be a headache, but at least if you pull out in front of it like that, most of the time they're going to stop. Even sometimes if you creep out into the road or into the intersection, they'll even yield to you. And of course you can turn on your four ways, and that'll even cause them sometimes to give you plenty of space and whatnot to do your stuff. So AI is stands for artificial intelligence, and sometimes sometimes it's just not that intelligent. So we're going to, let's see, I think what we're going to do is we're just going to set our parking brake and get out of this. Leave this here. We'll let one of the guys sort that out for us. And we need to find us a tractor. We've used the John Deere a couple of times, so let's get in the Challenger. We'll take the Challenger and the corn seeder and head up to that field that we need to seed with corn for our use. And get that done, and then as I said, we're pretty much at an end for this game day. Which kind of is a good thing, because that means simply that we can get on to a new game day, get new things new things to do, and all that is obviously quite fun. So I think we've got enough corn, because we seeded that other field number 9, and field number 6 is, I believe, slightly smaller. So we're not even gonna worry about filling up with seed, and we're just gonna head on up there. Hopefully we can get this long seeder, this row crop planter, around all the tight corners and bends that we have to get up to our field. And again, we're headed up to field number 6, I believe, is the field number, as I almost crash into the building and take out some expensive stuff. And we'll get in, we'll jump in cab here. Sorry about that, I've got a frog in my throat, it sounds like. Hope everyone is having a wonderful, wonderful week. Hope you all had a great weekend. I hope your March is going well for you. You know, it won't be long. It'll be mid-March, and then obviously we've got St. Patty's Day coming up. So that's cool. Let me check our map here and see what is the best way to go to get over to field number 6, and I think it's just up this way. So I think I mentioned this in the last episode. I did mow some of the edges of the fields around this portion of the map, just to get us a little bit of grass to keep our dairy production going, and keep the silage silage press silo, keep that processing, just to kind of keep things going. Because obviously when you start a map, and I've talked about this before, but when you start a map with Seasons mod, you know, it basically resets everything, and so we just are limited in what we can do. And some of you folks might be saying, well, but you know, why use the Seasons mod? Or you might be saying to yourself, well, you know, that's pretty good reason, or pretty good justification that I'm going to stay away from the Seasons mod. And you know, I'll just say, you know, for each their own. But I think that once the Seasons mod comes out into, you know, in its full glory, and is made available to one and all, and if you will play with it, if you'll play through a game save with the Seasons mod, I think you will agree. You will see what we all see in this, and that especially if you will play, you know, if you'll in earnest, if you'll do a map with the Seasons mod, and if you will, you know, at least do that, and then try to go back and try to basically play a map without the Seasons mod, and I think that you will learn pretty quick that let me just check the working width on this this row crop planter here. It is 27 meters. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bump this working width down 26.9. That's close enough. We'll scooch that edge over just a little bit, and back up slightly here. But I think that because this is what, you know, this was my experience. I you know, learned about the Seasons mod. I was very excited about using it, Why is it not on? Okay. It's just not making very much noise, but there we go. So I installed the Seasons mod. I did the mod review of it and everything. Started playing the Seasons mod. I believe it was on Lawfolds actually. And then I attempted to try to play Coldwell Park Farm without the Seasons mod, and I learned pretty quick that it was just boring. I mean, playing without it was boring because without Seasons mod, you're locked into that routine of you start a map, you've got some fields that are ready to go, which is, there's not a problem with that, and I understand why, because that obviously is a good attraction to the game. It gets people, especially a map that's designed in such a way where you have a field that has a crop that's ready to grow, ready to harvest, and you have, you know, at least another field or two that's in different states of readiness or conditions or whatever, so that, you know, you can harvest, you can you've got a field that you can fertilize, you've got a field that you can, you know, seed, sow, whatever, plant, and that's good because it gets you, you know, there's something to do with the gameplay. But so when you start using Seasons mod, obviously it resets your game back to early spring if you're playing like a 3-day season, which is obviously what I'm playing and what I recommend. Playing a 3-day season just makes it really easy because you know, you can adjust that to 3, 6, 9, and I believe 12, but that just makes it, I think that just makes your that just makes things much longer, and I think that you would struggle to, you know, find enough stuff to do. Now maybe on a map like this, if you owned every single field, then maybe a longer, maybe like 6 game days per season, you know, you could kind of make that work. But even with 3, I think you've seen that, you know, we sort of struggle with, I mean, it's 10:40 in the morning on game day 2, and this really was the first game day that we started our episodes with, but we've already planted 1, 2, 3, 4. This is our 5th field that we've planted, so as you can see that, you know, things go pretty quick. But anyway, start the Seasons mod, and then, you know, play it in earnest and everything, and then try to go back to the old way. It might be very similar to how you might have experienced things with soil mod for Farm Sim 15 if you started it, if you learned it, and especially if you really enjoyed it. Now granted, I think soil mod might have proven to be a bit difficult for some, just, you know, to the point to where that if you with soil mod, and maybe it's the same with Seasons mod to a certain extent. If obviously, I mean, I'm playing this game quite frequently. I have time to play it several times a week. Obviously, if your schedule, if you only have 2 hours a week, for example, on a, you know, Saturday afternoon is your only time that you have to spend time playing any game as far as that goes, then I could certainly see where something like soil mod, as an example, just picking on that, might be a difficult choice for you because it requires a little bit more effort to see the progress. So if you only have 2 hours a week to play Farm Sims 15 or 17, and, you know, then it might take a year before you see the kind of progress that I might see, for example, in the course of like a week and a half or 2 weeks. So I get why that, you know, some people say, well, the soil mod was just a little bit too complicated. It was a bit too not complicated to understand, which actually kind of was. I mean, I had to really sit down and read through the material to get my head around the various things that we needed to do, which order we needed to do, and I found some spreadsheets, some tools that, you know, allowed you to be able to put your soil conditions and stuff in and calculate what you would need to do to get optimum harvest. That stuff was quite cool. But you know, I certainly can understand that. But with Seasons Mod, I think it's a little. It's certainly less, a little bit less involved. I mean, obviously there's things that you need to pay attention to, but at the same time, I think that that you will enjoy it, especially if you really want to have a situation where you're kind of forced to do things at certain particular points in time, and then trying to, you know, go back from that, get away from that, I think will be, you know, would be difficult for, I think, for most. And I think most people that I've talked to, like Mike, Refeed 1952, Forward Gear, have basically all said the same thing, that, you know, they have tried to play maps without Seasons Mod. You know, Mike was doing, and it still does do several seasons, or several series simultaneous to each other, and he has even said that, you know, he's now running Seasons Mod on all of his Farm Sim 17 series, just for the simple fact that, you know, trying to go back and play this game without that wonderful mod is quite difficult. So I am, let's see, let me just stop here, because I need to do the old screenshot here. Try to remember doing this, because it's a lot. Set my parking brake. It's a lot easier to do this, to remember to do this during the game, than it is to have to come back and set these kind of things back up. So my apologies for that. Here we're locked in. Take our parking brake off. Okay, and we're off again. All right. So so I was in sort of chat with one of the developers of the Seasons Mod last night, and I'm recording this on Saturday morning, the 4th of March, by the way. And so I was basically praising him on all the wonderful things that I thought about Seasons Mod and everything, and I said something about, to the effect that, you know, I was really looking forward to when Seasons Mod could meet Soil Mod, because, you know, we've often thought that Soil Mod might be coming to Farm Sim 17. We certainly had hoped that it would be coming to Farm Sim 17. They obviously are, and I believe I talked about this many episodes ago, that the teams are actually sort of talking to each other, working with each other maybe, but I think that there's still some potential questions as to whether or not Soil Mod would actually be coming to Farm Sim 17. So, and then one of the other points that this Seasons Mod developer made was that, you know, Seasons Mod with Soil Mod is going to be a challenge. You know, it's going to be a challenge, but I think, you know, some of us want that. Some folks want that challenge. Some folks want that challenge. So, pretty good animation off the DB90 there. I think this is obviously a convert from FS15, and maybe even further than that. I had a similar, well, I had a DB90. It looked a little different in 15, I believe. So perhaps this one is not a conversion of the same one that I had in 15, but it's pretty darn close anyways. I used it on Paradise Hill, so if you watch that series back in my FS15 days, probably like October. I think I kicked off my channel with Let's Plays in late September of 2016, and I did that with Paradise Hills, with Stevie's Paradise Hills for Farm Sim 15, and of course that was with Soil Mod, and we had, we were doing quite a few fields on that map, just keep things interesting, keep ourselves with lots to do, and that way I could entertain you all, which I enjoy doing. So as I mentioned, yeah, I believe this will be this will wrap up this game day. I will obviously check the animal conditions, do whatever I need to do with regards to the animal, their animal condition, and then go ahead and fast forward to late spring. So that'll be game day number 3, and in that game day we're going to be planting our potatoes and sugar beets. So in that field that I sort of split down the middle, we'll be planting one side of that potatoes, the other side of that sugar beets. We're going to seed oats in field number 7. We are going to do sunflower in field number 17, and then field number 8 we will seed that with canola. Field number 8 is that ginormous field. I think maybe the largest field on the map, not sure. We're going to do that in canola. Of course, most likely I will assign that task to either Billy Bob or Jim Bob or Stan to do that, just because it's going to take much longer than our normal sort of 30-minute time frame that we usually spend together on an episode. But yeah, so what I'll probably do is obviously I will do some seeding during those episodes, but we'll also maybe, I think this was, well, let's see, this is episode number 4, so this was our 4th episode for this game day. I think I may try to shorten late spring and try to fit all that into 2 or 3 episodes, 3 at the most. And then the only planting that we will have left in day 1, the first day of summer, early summer, we will plant field number 1 with soybean. Soybean, according to our trusty seasonal chart here, soybean can sort of the latest that it can be planted is in early summer. So we're going to go ahead and do that, and of course we could plant it, we could actually, let me look at my chart again. Soybean is a bit of a sensitive crop, to say the least, and I've certainly had my struggles with soybeans, losing them to frost. Really in the game day that we're in right now, mid-spring, we're cautioned not to plant soybean. Really, we're okay to do it in late spring, but it can also be extended to early summer. So we're gonna extend that into early summer, just to, more or less get the experience of that, because because we can, right? Let's see if I can turn that off, and we'll just freehand this. Try to anyways. And gosh, as I look over at my timer, we're knocking on the 30-minute door at 29 minutes and some change. So time flies when you're having fun, right? And certainly are having a lot of fun with Farm Sim 17. and quite enjoying bringing these episodes to you, interacting with you both in the YouTube comments that you guys leave after you watch the videos, as well as interacting with many of you through some of the wonderful forums like the Three Dudes Gaming Network and PCSG. Want to give a quick shout out to Doughboy2913, Matthew. Matthew has officially become one of the partners with Three Dudes Gaming Network, like myself, and so that is an incredible opportunity to have Matthew there with us. And check out his channel. You'll find a link to his channel down in my featured video list on my YouTube channel, my YouTube page. And Matthew is doing he's doing a series on Pine Cove Farm, doing it very similar to how I'm doing it. He's not using the Seasons mod, but he is going to sort of incorporate sort of my old way of doing Seasons, sort of the old way. And we'll go ahead and fold up here and then head back to the farm. But obviously, doing it sort of the old manual way. He's using large equipment and such, so there might be some similarities, but you know, neither he nor I are copying each other. Just if things happen, if you see some of the same equipment, I think his tastes are very similar to mine. I think we both like the shade John Deere green, and so obviously you're going to see that. I like John Deere equipment, and of course it's very fitting to use some of this really big stuff here on this map, and having a lot of fun with that. But congratulations to Matthew for coming on board at Three Dudes Gaming Network. And you know, if you do farm sim videos, or any simulation based videos, and if you would like to come on board at Three Dudes Gaming Network as a media partner, definitely check out the Three Dudes Gaming Network and register for a free account, and leave a message for Eustace Pharmer there, and ask him about all the specifics and everything, and he can fill you in on sort of the requirements and stuff. Obviously, you know, kind of wants you to you probably need to be established with, you know, a few videos and everything already, but it's excellent exposure for you because we sort of promote each other, all the various partners within the Three Dudes Gaming Network help promote each other, help expose each other's channels to, you know, our audiences and such. And so, as I have often said before, if you are interested in other you know, simulation, especially farm sim simulation channels, check out my featured channels list. And of course, there's some folks there that aren't necessarily associated with the Three Dudes Gaming Network as far as official partners are concerned, but still, their channels are most certainly worth watching. And great content, excellent content. Can't say enough about those folks. But yeah, so congratulations, Matthew, and look forward to watching your channel grow. All right, well, folks, I am going to spare you watching me try to back this DB90 into the shed. Actually, I think I'm going to go ahead. Well, actually, I'm not going to. I was going to fill it up, but I'm going to wait because I think we're actually done with this cedar for now. And so I'm just going to go ahead and wrap this episode up here, and as I set my parking brakes so that my tractor doesn't roll away, I will just say thank you so much for watching. I do appreciate you tuning in each and every episode, 4 episodes here on my channel. I appreciate you telling all your friends about the Grizzly Bear Sims YouTube channel, and I just thank you for watching, and I appreciate your friendship. That's what you all are here to me. You're not viewers. You're actually friends. You're people that I enjoy interacting with, and you've just been so kind to me over the last several months and weeks and days, and I just truly appreciate it. I really do. So thank you so much for watching. We'll come back with a brand new game day for episode number 5, and we'll be back with episode number 5 in its usual time slot. And so thank you all so much for watching, from Pine Cove Farm. I wish you all a very good day, and God bless you all. Bye-bye.